up, everybody? This is Bree from Young, Saved, and Free, and I am back with this week's Tuesday Talk, and we are going to be talking about, as you can see from the title, social media. So, in this day and age, I think it's a little bit hard for me to understand social media, only in a sense because I'm a millennial that grew up when there was social media, wasn't so big, and then, I'm also here when it is a big deal. So, when I was in high school, the only thing we really had, So back in the day, if I wanted to use social media, I literally had to get on the computer to use it. We had Black Planet, MySpace, Facebook was kind of a thing, but not really. Bebo, Tag. What was that other thing? Zanga? Yeah, Zanga. That was what it was called. We used to have all of that, right? But we literally had to get on a computer to use it. It wasn't just on our phone like it is now. And I started to think about how much time I spend lollygagging on social media, and not even on purpose. I'll be scrolling and don't even realize that I'm doing. I'll be at work and I literally won't even be looking at my phone, and I will just be scrolling, just scrolling. And I'm and sometimes I'll close the app and go back to the app I just didn't have it open. I literally will close it and go click the same app again and start scrolling, just out of habit. But what I started to realize is a lot of people do stuff just for attention on social media. That's why we have, these big scandals and stuff. Especially with big name people like John Gray and but even on TV, you'll see how social media is playing a big part. What's that show with Lauren London? It's new. Kendall's on the show. That's what caught my attention. I'm oh my God, that's my boo. I love Kendall. Yeah, I love him. But the girl Katie from My Wife and Kids, whatever her real name is, Peyton Parker. That's her name in real life. She plays this Instagram baddie or whatever, and let's talk about that real quick. Instagram baddies. So that's the other thing about social media. Everybody feels like they're not acceptable for social media unless they look like an Instagram baddie, looking like you just got you got all kind of needles pumped into you by Dr. Curves and Dr. Miami. It's just too much. It's too much. It's way too much. It makes people so self-conscious if they don't look like that, and that's why everybody's doing it, because they're I have to look like this for everybody to like me, so I can get likes on this picture, so I can get this and I can get that. You're putting your self-worth in other people. You're putting your self-worth completely in other people. And then, people, even her character on the show, Parker's character on the show, she's trying to come up on somebody else's downfall. You know what I'm saying? Social media will do that to people. There's so many, how many people that are on social media we know because of what they did with somebody else, and then they posted it to social media. We wouldn't know who Kim Kardashian was, wouldn't know who Blac Chyna was, wouldn't know who Amber Rose was, wouldn't know any of those people if it wasn't for social media. My whole thing is, if you're going to be on social media for one thing, at least take advantage of it and do something positive. Please, just do us all a favor, because then what happens is when, I'm going to use Kim Kardashian, for example. I was 14 or 15 when that whole sex tape scandal happened, right? And because of that, her career has kicked off. She is doing things and stuff, has her own TV show, all that, because of this sex tape. But now she wants to become a lawyer, and it's a joke, because all you do is flex on Instagram and your bathing suit. Who's gonna really take you for real as a lawyer? But I'm not saying she's a bad person at all. I think that some of the ideas that she has, they're great ideas, but it's people don't take you seriously because of how you represent yourself on social media. She put herself in a place where she glorified social media, and now it's almost like she's a joke, honestly, because it's here you are in Capri or wherever, laying out in the sun when people are really going through stuff, and now you want to be a lawyer to represent people that are going through stuff. But what have you really been through? Like, you're a rich kid. Your daddy represented O.J. Simpson. Like, and I'm not here to rag on her at all, but I'm just saying, like, that's what social media does to people. You compare. You constantly comparing, and it's just like this is that's what you're feeding your brain. Like, you become what you eat. So you're constantly feeding into social media, constantly feeding into, what do I have to do to be like her? What do I have to do to be like this or live this life? And it's like, you take you're making when you do that, you make social media your God, because God, honestly, He tells us not to worry about the troubles of life or whatever. And He gives us the tools to get things that we need. But when you start making social media your number one thing, like, how many of us, like, we're all guilty of it, getting up in the middle of the night, going to the bathroom, and what you doing, sitting on the toilet, scrolling through Instagram while you handling your business, right? Right. But the thing about it is, some of us do that before we pray. Some of us do that before we do a lot of other things. And it's like, essentially what that looks like to God is, okay, God, hold on while I do this real quick. Then I'm going to get back to you. Even though you're the reason why I'm up breathing right now, I'm going to get back to you in like 10 minutes when I get done in the bathroom, right? Like, that's what it looks like. And it shouldn't look like that, because God should be your first and foremost in your life. We always say it. We always posting it on Instagram. God is the first and foremost in my life, but you saying it for likes. Like, you doing it for the clout. Like, yeah. But, like, you know, just people like the Shade Room and other blogs, they get their content from people that feel like it's necessary to post on social media about their life. Like, and, you know, being an influencer, I spend a lot of time on social media and YouTube. And sometimes I look in the comments. Most of the time I don't, because I already know how the little trolls be on YouTube, especially now that they have this assumptions tag that's going on that I will not do. I'm not doing it right now. But, like, a lot of people feel like they know you because you post hair videos, or they know you because you post whatever videos. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know me. You don't know any of those people for real. Unless, you know what I'm saying? Unless you really know them in real life and you just have to be watching their video. But I'm sure even then, those people don't leave the little trolling comments, you know? But one of the things that I really thought about, well, that really brought it to my attention, my church, there's a guy in my church, he posts the praise break videos from every service on YouTube. If you ever follow Praise Avenue on YouTube, there you'll see everything from my church, or from when my pastor has to go preach somewhere. And you know, people have pretty good comments about it. And I usually don't look at the comments because I'm very, very, very protective. Especially the people in my life that I know have had a big influence on my life, like my pastor and first lady. I can't look at the comments, because if they say somebody says something crazy, I'm going ham. But I remember this one person, I think it was, I don't know which video it was, I can't remember which one it was, but they commented was like, that's just like every church in the South. They got all this shouting and dancing, but ain't no word. And I said, first of all, this is like an 8-minute video. We're in church for 2 hours. So there's a whole, 112 minutes that you're missing, that you're not even seeing. And you think you know everything that happened in service. But, you know, and there's 2 different ways you can say that. We're going to just address the commenting first. There's 2 different ways you can say that. There's one person that said, can we get more of what the actual word from, you know, from service? Which is that's acceptable to me. And that, but the comment that I just said, as far as that's just like every church in the South, that's disrespectful. And if somebody got disrespectful with you, you will be mad, right? But, like, I think a lot of people get, like, you know how, like, there's liquid courage when you've been drinking, I think they get like internet courage when they're on social media and they're stuck behind a computer or behind a phone. They feel like they can say whatever they want to say and nobody's going to check them about it. But it's all for social media. And I feel like what you putting on for? Like, people, just in this short few years that Instagram has been a really, really big thing, I feel like people post to make it, to make it seem like their life is so great, or this is such a different, caliber of living or something. And some of it is crazy because some people do that and they actually are living like their best life out here in these streets. But then there's people who flex, and we all know that you living at your mama house, ain't got nothing to eat, ain't working no job, but you flexing on, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the purpose? I don't understand the purpose. But it's the bad thing about social media is that you have to keep up with yourself on social media. So like, people who find their value or their self-worth in social media because they look for validation or self-esteem validation or whatever, they have to make sure they look their best at all times when they're on social media. And it's kind of sad because it's like, we know you don't look like that 24/7. Like, I don't look like this 24/7. I put this on for the camera. Like, I do. I'm not gonna be walking around, but even when I leave my house, I have to make sure I'm presentable. Because before this, I look like Who Shot John. My hair was all over the place. It's still kind of all over the place, just a little bit. But it's crazy because it's like, people really just, they care too much about what people think. And it's one thing to make sure you look decent, but it's another thing to feel like you have to. There's people I know who literally will buy outfits just to flex on social media. Like, and it's crazy to me. Like, I don't understand it, because it's like, you going broke for like where does that make sense? At what point does that make sense? You can't pay your light bill, but you out buying an outfit for Instagram. Literally for Instagram. Not because you're going nowhere, but just to take a picture for Instagram. It doesn't make sense to me. But I think too many people put too much weight on social media. Like, it's just an app. Like, that's why when Instagram went down that one day, people thought the world was over. And I'm like, it's not. It's an app. It's man-made. It'll crash at some point. Like, what are you so upset for? I don't understand. Like, you don't have anything else going on in your life. You don't have anything else you can do other than scrolling on social media. Like, what's really good? Like, and I remember, like, I know particularly people that just go looking for stuff on social media, and it's like, why? Just so they can have something to talk about. Like, I remember when I worked for DFAX in Florida, there was people that they would call and be like, she's not taking care of her baby, she's not doing this and she's not doing that, but she posted all these drugs and stuff on Facebook and this is that. And I'm like, y'all, people flex for Facebook all the time. That's why I stay off social media. I'm in a season in my life where I just don't care about social media. Like, unfortunately, my friends from college, they don't hear from me unless I post something on social media, which is not very often. If I don't text them or call them, it's not that I don't care about them. I just be my own little world, like, for real. And I got tired of people putting on. Like, it's not my cup of tea. But not only that, I got to a place where I found myself comparing myself to people that I personally knew on social media. And it just wasn't good for me. So I just had to back off for a while, just to get my mind together, get myself together, because it was too much. It was way too much. Like, I shouldn't have been doing it in the first place. Like, but I talked about that in the Spirit of Comparison video. I think it was maybe 3 weeks ago. And, and I subconsciously was doing it all the time. And then I would try to figure out why I was so upset with my life. Like, why am I so upset? Had everything, looking at my circumstances, do I think I should be somewhere else? Yes, I do. But knowing what I went through, I feel like I should be somewhere else. And then to add to that, I'm watching everyone live their lives out on social media, which is not, it wasn't good for me. So I had to back off. So literally the only thing that I do on social media is posting Young, Saved, and Free Instagram. And I run the social media for my other job. But my personal Instagram, I posted in December of 2018 and January of 2018. There was no post in between that. Like, it just wasn't. It wasn't necessary for me because I just don't post that often. But even when I was in school, I wasn't posting that often. Like, I just didn't. And I think it's kind of like people, and what happens is people get so caught up in life. Like, people get so caught up with trying to keep up with everybody on social media that they miss life altogether. So, like, I know for some people, they'll end up living a double life. So or like whatever life. So there's some people that live a certain life on Facebook. There's some people that live, and usually Facebook is the cleaner life. Snapchat is the out here in these streets life because it disappears after 24 hours. Instagram is let me just flex real quick. That's what it seems like to me. Because I'm guilty of it myself. If you go to my Facebook, all you'll see is church videos and stuff that my cousins tag me in. Like that's it. You won't see. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me go to like I said, I don't use social media like that anyway. Like, I have it, but I'm not like on it all the time. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first 6 posts when you go to my Facebook are all church posts, and then there's a break, and I shared a post from this girl that I went to high school with, and then it's just more church stuff that's going on in St. Pete. Like, it's just a bunch of church stuff. But in my church all the time, no, I'm not. I don't feel the need to share my life with anybody sometimes. But I do know that, my reckless moments, they go on Snapchat because that disappears after however long. And I think we all just try to live what we want. We allow people to see what we want them to see. We want people to see us in our best light, but sometimes our best light is being very upfront and honest about what's going on. So like, the Bible says that men born of women have few days and they're full of trouble. If you're trying to make it seem like every day is perfect, every day is this and every day is that, I know that you're lying, but it's like, that's what you want everybody to see. So I can't be mad at that. You want everybody to look at you that way. But then there's the people who do stuff for attention. Like, I have a cousin, I'm not gonna call her by name, but I remember everybody found out she was in the hospital because she posted to Facebook. She posted a picture of her in the hospital bed with the IVs in her arm and stuff. And we like when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And then it was like, but why, if you so sick, why are you posting to Facebook like that? Like, why you ain't have somebody, if you were so sick, couldn't somebody else post for you somewhere? But it's like, we don't live in the moment anymore. Everything has to be captured on Snapchat. Everything has to be captured on Facebook Live. Everything has to be captured on Instagram, TV, whatever. It's just, nobody is really living anymore. Everybody just wants to flex. But everybody just wants to be seen, and everybody just wants, like, it's stupid. I don't understand it. Like, I really don't understand it. But I truly believe that if we found a value in ourselves, we wouldn't be so pushed by being validated on social media. Because I remember when Instagram first became a big thing and everybody could get Instagram. It was a big thing just to get to 11 likes. Like, I remember everybody would be so pressed to get to 11 likes. It would go from showing everybody that liked your picture to you have 11 likes. And it would just be like, that was these, like, you can't tell me, you don't even know who liked my picture because I got 11 likes, boo. Like, but it really wasn't that deep. It was like, it's just 11 people, like, but it was like, everything is, I must be pretty because so-and-so liked my picture. I must be this because I got this many likes. Like, but it just, I remember, even when I started Young, Saved, and Free, I kind of battled with my validation on there. Like, now I don't care. I really don't care who likes it, who doesn't like it. I remember when I first started it, there would be, like, I would get a bunch of likes, but a lot of them would be fake accounts. So, like, you got all these likes, but they're not real. So why does it matter? Like, and then the stuff you're putting out isn't even quality anyway. So, like, once I've built my quality up for my content, it's like, okay, I got this. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. And I remember the day Jacqueline Carr liked one of my posts, and I was like, oh my God, I've made it. I've done it. That's it. And it went that quick from God getting the glory to look what happened, look what I did, look who liked my post. Like, it, you know what I'm saying? Don't put too much weight on it. It's not necessary. If social media ended today, it wouldn't be the end of life. I promise you, it wouldn't be. But, like, I remember when she liked it, Lawrence Flowers, Gregor Quinn, and I was just on this high. Like, I don't even have 300. Right now, I don't even have 300 followers. And it felt like I was just everything. But I was like, you know what? No, we're going to reel it back in because it's not even about me. Because this blog is about God. This blog is not about Brianna. Not about me at all. It's about God getting the glory. So I have to do better with my life. So, yeah, I mean, what would you do? What would you do if social media ended? What would you do if everybody had to believe who you really were, not who you portrayed yourself to be? Life would be real different. Like, it would be completely different. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking at today. But what are y'all thoughts on social media? Y'all think the world would be better off without it? Think it was good with it? I mean, of course, it comes with its pros and cons like everything else does. But what are your thoughts on it? But that's all I have for y'all today. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all in the next video. And I love you all. Bye.